Welcome to the Justang Show, everybody. Thanks for joining us again tonight. We got actually getting quite a few people here. I had 32 people watch, I think, last night, night before. So you guys try to share this and get it out there, or just tell people to, get their shit together and focus on our community and getting our community prepared. I think that definitely needs to happen. I'm going to look into some kind of what our local town halls or discussion areas are, so this can be brought up, man. I mean, it's not like we're here. But anyway, tonight, mainstream media is reporting that Iran could potentially strike our U.S. homeland with drones. Let's take a look at this news story, and we'll go over some of it.
The FBI alerting authorities that Iran wants to strike the U.S. homeland, possibly launching attack drones in the West. And tonight, President Trump has asked if he's concerned about a potential domestic terror attack. Here's Aaron Katersky.
Tonight, with the war against Iran in its 12th day, a new warning about how Iran may retaliate. In recent days, the FBI alerted police departments in California that Iran wants to launch attack drones against the West Coast. The alert, reviewed by ABC News, cites recently acquired information that Iran aspires to conduct a surprise attack using drones from an unidentified vessel off the coast of the United States homeland, specifically against unspecified targets in California.
Through its operatives,
How the fuck do they know that?
Its relationship with criminal organizations.
If they're unspecified, then how the fuck do you know?
The access to equipment to conduct a drone attack here in the United States. Now it has the incentive.
The FBI declined to comment, and we did not hear back from the White House. But today, President Trump said,
You know why I hate the world we live in? Because we'll never know. They could be telling us right now, hey, we're going to blow our own shit up and blame Iran so we can, use nukes and shit. All right, you can't trust, look at the fucking history of Mossad. Hold on, let's look up. Right now, we have to look up the incident that happened in Stockholm, Sweden with Mossad. Okay, so bear with me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. What was he, a delivery guy, Stockholm? Yeah, this is it, the Lilyhammer affair. All right, get ready to learn. The Lilyhammer affair was the murder of Ahmed Bouchiki, a Moroccan waiter and the brother of the French musician Chico Bouchiki, by Mossad agents in Lillehammer, Norway on 21st of June, 1973. The Israeli agents had mistaken their target for Ali Hassan Salamah, the chief of operations for Black September. 6 of 15 of the Mossad team were captured and convicted of complicity in the killing by the Norwegian justice system, in a major blow to the intelligence agency's reputation. Undercover agents had been sent by Israel as part of a series of planned assassinations following the 1972 Munich massacre. This whole shit that it's talking about, there's a movie made about it. It's called Munich. It has Eric Bana in it. He does a great job. And it's about the Israeli Mossad going and wiping all these people out that had anything to do with it. But then at the end, you see how dirty this shit is, because at the end, Eric Bana's like a hero, but then he's got to worry about his life because he knows too much. Good movie. I just told you the end, but fuck off. All right. Undercover agents have been sent to Israel as part of a series of planned assassinations following the 1972 Munich massacre to assassinate Ali Hassan Salamah, the head of Force 17 and an operative in the Black September organization, the Palestinian militant group responsible. In the summer of 1973, Mossad received a tip that Salamah was working as a waiter in Lillehammer. Author and former Mossad CATSA case officer Viktor Ostrovsky wrote that Salamah was instrumental in leading Mossad off course by feeding it false information about his whereabouts. A team of 15 Mossad agents was sent to Lillehammer to assassinate him, where they were joined by Mossad director Zivi Zamir and Operation Commander Michael Harari. Lillehammer was a relatively small city, and the sudden arrival of more than a dozen strangers attracted attention from residents. The local police began to watch them. A known Palestinian courier in Lillehammer is identified and followed by Mossad agents to a public swimming pool where he was seen speaking with Bouchiki, who had no connection to Palestinian armed groups and whose conversation with the courier was coincidental. Bouchiki, who resembled Selimah, was found to match the photographs of Selimah. A female Mossad agent then jumped into the pool and got close enough to Bouchiki to hear him speaking French. The agents knew that Selimah was multilingual and convinced that this had to be him. The Mossad team followed Bouchiki to his home. His residence was placed under constant surveillance by Mossad, sitting in hired cars. On the evening of 21st of July, a day after having misidentified Bouchiki as Salameh, the Mossad agents carried out the assassination. Bouchiki and his pregnant wife had gone to see a movie. After taking a bus back and getting off at a bus stop, they began slowly walking home. As they were in sight of their home, a car with 4 Mossad agents pulled up beside them, while 2 stayed in the car to provide cover. The other 2 got out and shot Bouchiki 13 times with a .22 caliber pistol. His wife witnessed the shooting. They jumped back into the car, which immediately drove away at high speed. Local police were close by, but the time police and rescue arrived, Bouchiki was dead. Pretty big fuck up. You know, how many of those have they had? How many of those have they not been caught for? That's what I think happened. I think these people were, tricked, basically. I think that these people get up to these high offices and see the inner workings of the deep state, and they either show them some shit so scary that they'll do whatever they say, or they just explain it as, hey, we gotta use the devil's stuff to protect our nation, which is never the case. But anyway, what we wanted to get into today is did we even finish watching the video, or did I start talking? I think I started talking. So
we're aware of that information, and we transfer that information in real time to our local partners. Drone issues have been always top of mind.
We're living in such odd and stressful times. You have to take all of this seriously, but you also have to take it with a grain of salt. Should we be concerned? Absolutely. But we've got to go about our business and our day, take care of our families and our jobs and our communities.
I want you all to know that we are aware of the reports that were made public today, and we have been in constant communication with our state and federal partners who have assured us there are no imminent threats to us here in San Francisco. As always, public safety is our 1 priority, and rest assured we are in constant communication with all of our public safety partners.
Man, I'm 42. What am I going to be this year? 43? Am I about to turn 43? Yeah, that's right. I'm 43 years old. If you would have told me at any point when I was growing up or in my 20s that we would be looking at a possible airstrike from Iran on our west coast, I would have laughed at you. Same as I would have if you would have told me that a bunch of guys would be chopping their dicks off. No way we're from here. Let me see what kind of information that we do have here on the, let's see. All right, here we go. I had the show laid out with the information and also, don't worry about it. I mean, all right, here you go. Inexpensive drones. This is modern drone warfare trends. And if you guys haven't been paying attention, Ukraine was the test battlefield for this shit. They are using robot dogs and drones. I mean, it is Black Mirror already. Inexpensive drones, long-range loitering munitions. I think the Americans, or we, I don't like to say we because I wouldn't. The American people ain't got nothing to do with shit. Anyway, the U.S. just announced that it is using its own kamikaze drones that are reverse engineered from, I believe it was Iran Shahed drones. But yeah, this is going to be, man, by the end of this, there won't be any humans fighting. I mean, they're already, I don't know if you guys saw, but they already announced that they were using AI in battle to make combat decisions. So take that how you will. You know, make it clear. No confirmed attack plot. Authorities monitoring potential threats. Intelligence agencies preparing for worst case scenario. Let's see. I'll answer this, and then we'll, ask you guys, and you can comment below. Do you think drone warfare could reach U.S. soil? Yes, because of what we just said. They're cheap. They're ineffective. They're effective, cheap, and I posted on Facebook yesterday afternoon. I want to say it was around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. A huge plane came right over our house. I bet it wasn't 1,500 feet above us. So I ran inside or my version of run. I ran inside to check flight radar, and it was a Boeing P-8 Poseidon. And it continued that altitude for the entirety of the remainder of its trip to Norfolk. So if I have any aviators out there, what does that mean? Because that's a big-ass plane to have at 3,500 feet. You know, now we've got the sleeper cells in the news. Drone attack on the West Coast. 3-Eye Atlas. The debris field. We're supposed to have meteors and black rain. And that's not even going over the biblical end times prophecies that have happened in the past few years. But there's something I thought about that too. As this has been going on for the past few years, I've paid deep attention to this stuff. And one of two things, I told Tiffany, one of two things is going on. Either it is 1,000% the biblical revelations in time, or they as sure as hell want us to think it is. You know, because I know how propaganda works. And leading up, for the past couple of years, you've seen end time prophecy in the newspapers. You saw the Euphrates dry up. Remember the social media videos going around of them hearing the screaming fallen angels on the Euphrates? And in the Epstein files, I bet you don't know this, it's more important than what you think. In the Epstein files, it appears that, and there were people that thought this, that we didn't go to Iraq for weapons of mass destruction. We went to Iraq for the Tomb of Gilgamesh, specifically the resurrection chamber and the location of the buried Nephilim. Just as the Epstein files were released, let me just see how this played out. Because right after the Epstein files were released, and making a direct quote to this, a document surfaced, supposedly, basically like solidifying the fact that the Nephilim were here. And I thought it was funny they had that in the news. All right. Here we go. Based on recent reports, a 3,300-year-old Egyptian document known as Papyrus Anastasi I has resurfaced, with researchers suggesting it provides ancient, non-biblical context for the existence of giants similar to the Nephilim. Source: the papyrus is housed in the British Museum since 1839 and is being re-examined by the Associates for Biblical Research. The text is a letter written by a scribe that describes a narrow defile infested with Shosu nomads concealed beneath the bushes. Some of them are 4 cubits or 5 cubits from head to foot. A 4 or 5 cubit height translates to approximately 6 to 7.5 feet. Those, yeah, you may have been like long descendants of the Nephilim, but the Nephilim were, hell, Adam was what, 60 something feet tall? But it was interesting that came out. Because all of this is tying in together. And, boom. It just so happens. What's another thing? And this is where I say, I've had the opportunity to, educate myself and go over this information religiously. Because I was disabled after my back surgery. So, I also became engrossed in my faith after that back surgery. When I started researching my faith and recent events, I knew that there was no way we weren't in an important time. And I wanted to learn. I've become fairly familiar with the Bible, the Apocrypha, a lot of the non-canonical books. But I also wanted to learn about. I didn't know anything about Judaism, and so I wanted to start reading some, information to get familiar. I wanted to read their holy book, like the Talmud. But it doesn't take long to figure out that we've been fucking lied to. But it looks like they're going to blow everything up. But we have something that they don't. Jesus Christ. And they hate us for that shit. Oh, let's take a look at another report on this drawing. Let's see.
Meet the squirrels with a squirrel's eye view of scripture. It's the Dead Sea Squirrels. Get kids excited to learn more about.
Good afternoon. I can tell you we just learned that the FBI reportedly warned
See, and I hate the mainstream media. The FBI warns there may be an Iranian drone strike on California. The fuck did you just tell me? I'm not a child. Give me more goddamn information.
California police about that unconfirmed intelligence report involving a possible drone strike by Iran off the West Coast. That's according to ABC News. It's reports like that one, which is exactly why we see some barricades outside, fencing here. We know that by Sunday there will be hundreds of police officers deployed here to the Dolby Theater, along with hundreds of federal Homeland Security and FBI personnel. Moments ago, in a virtual news conference, Governor Gavin Newsom said that he was aware of those threats from Iran to attack areas of California with drone strikes. Take a listen.
Concerns as it relates to the broader concern, as it relates to drone strikes, we've been aware of that information. We've been working collaboratively through the SOC, which we established right after the war began, the State Operations Center, working with the Office of Emergency Service, but also working locally to make sure we transmit any information that we have received, and we're aware of that, which has been reported, I think, by ABC 7. We're aware of that information, and we transfer that information in real time to our local partners. Drone issues have been always top of mind, and we've assembled some work groups specifically around those concerns. But that's all I'll share at the moment. I have nothing more insightful beyond just what's been reported and how we're transmitting what we know to our local partners, which is critical.
So there you have it. But
well, I mean, look, when are people going to start to panic too? That's another one of my worries, man, because I don't know if you guys have realized, but a lot of people are very weak-minded and weak-spirited. I talk to a lot of people that are just like, I don't even want to know. When it happens, I'm just not going to want to live anymore. You fucking idiot. That's not how the human brain works. When it happens, you're going to go, oh, I want to live. And then you're going to be a fucking problem to everybody that did prepare. I think next episode, we'll get out the very few things that we have put together and just show at least a small or prepper stash, because we don't have a lot of money. I know none of you guys have a lot of money, but you got to start doing something. Listen to me. You got to start doing something. Okay? You got to start getting ready in one way or another. All right, guys. Have a good night. Come back for more Justang Show tomorrow.